Hello and welcome to The Pursuit, the podcast where we talk about all things dating, especially to those of the Adventist persuasion. This season, we are tackling issues and topics pertaining to dating in your late 20s. Today, I'm joined by my buddy Mike and my sister Abby, and today we want to have a little bit of a conversation on types of dates. So I want to have that conversation about actual dates, so like things to do, fun ideas for like guys who haven't dated before or you kind of have no idea what to do. I kind of want to ask Abby also like some ideas of what girl dates women and girls could take their guys out on, things like that. I also want to converse about issues that I guess only controversial to us who are Christians, like for example, traveling together, going out solo, and like perhaps not so Christian dates and kind of stuff like that. But what would you guys say are some really nice dates to go on, or that first of all, have you guys been on a date?
Yes.
Okay, where did you go and was it fun? Did you like it? What was the deal?
We went on a walking date.
See, that's the type of stuff I like to do.
We've gone out for ice cream.
Hey.
That's nice.
Yeah, those are nice.
Simple. See, that's what I was saying in the previous episode.
I'm sorry, which episode was that?
The previous one. It doesn't mean how previous.
What about you, Mike? Have you taken a girl on a date before?
Dinner.
Of course. Yeah. Well, where did
I
you?
say, of course, like I always do.
Yeah, like you do it all the time.
Yeah, no, I don't really do it all the time. But yeah.
Where did you take her?
I don't know. Just go out to get some food, man. Like that's kind of what I like to do. I think usually when I go out with a girl, it's always food related. But yeah, we'll just like go for a walk too after that.
Yeah.
It's just simple stuff. And it's nothing like fancy either. That's just, I don't believe in going like somewhere super fancy where you have to spend a lot of money, because it just adds too much like expectation to the girl or the guy.
Yeah.
You know, because then they feel like, okay, man, I gotta do something, or I'm gonna feel like I need to do something for them or give them something in return. So you just do something chill, something that you can allow yourselves to get to know each other, talk,
or something that you've talked about that you both like. So then you do it.
Yeah. Or we'll just go to some place there's like some random places that you can go where you can just like play games or something.
Yeah, there's like a board game cafe. Me and a guy were gonna go, but it was closed. So.
Is it here in Wisconsin?
Yeah, in Wisconsin. It's in like closer to your neck of the woods, actually.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I like to go to sports games. Myrna, please help us out. I like to go to more, games. It's like I've taken her today to a Brewers game, taking her to a Bucks game.
I've done the Bucks game before.
Yeah.
It's all right, but I feel like I get too much into the games.
Yes, exactly.
The girl she was like trying to talk to me. She was like, "So tell me, I already knew the girl."
It's not really.
And you're like, but hold on, Chad. This is about to do something.
I know.
It's
but
not the type of place where you want to talk.
I know.
You're there to be a spectator.
In my head, I was like, "Man, should I say something more?" And I knew this girl, so it's not like we never met before. But I was like, "Hey, come on, let's go for some. Let's go to a Bucks game and whatever." And while we were there, like I kind of started to talk to her about like just anything, but then I was watching the game too, so I just like for long periods of time I wouldn't talk to her.
Oh wow.
Well, not long periods of time, but I mean like go like 10-15 minutes where I would I'd just be watching the game.
Yeah. I feel like I would go on a
I feel like if
game.
she's a fan of the game too, like we're both.
I feel like
maybe
you can do both
baseball you can talk more
because
it's
less
more
exciting.
It's slower paced.
Yeah. Now if we're at a football
and
game,
there's no halftime.
Just let me finish the game first.
Yeah.
Commercial break, we'll talk.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
First of all, the game is like $200 and it's only once a week.
Plus food and travel and super
But then
expensive.
we went out to pizza after.
I want to take the day to I mean obviously like a Packers game, but I'm actually not that excited about a Packers game. I don't know why. I think maybe the price tag just scares me.
Yeah.
But I want to take her to a hockey game. I've never been to a hockey game.
I've never.
So I'm excited to go to an
game.
Admirals game with her. I think that would be a lot of fun. One place that I've taken her a lot. I feel like
it could get awkward in a hockey game.
Why?
Have you ever seen that video of like that hockey games can like sound super sexual? Put it in. Take it out.
Yeah.
You know what? I never thought about that, so I think that's just your mind.
What is your algorithm showing you?
Reels. There's like reels, and I feel like I'd be like,
your Instagram
let's go
brick by brick.
That's so
you made your Instagram that way.
I love those comments. Just like it's just something funny, and all they say is brick by brick. That's all they say.
I've never seen that one. That's just
I ain't never seen that. That's just you.
Because like what that means is like what they're seeing is they focused on reels that show them stuff that
it's
lean
all
towards
on
that
the algorithm,
right? So then, like, let's say you want to watch a lot of hockey content, you stop on all the hockey reels. Then when you get to the hockey fights, then you'll get like, okay, brick by brick. I built this brick by brick. So then, like,
Instagram will put things in your wall or on your feed.
Well, they put
that
stuff
they know you like to watch,
that they think you might like.
Yeah, there's a mixture of both, right?
But like for me, I feel like they showed me that one because it's like girls spectating hot athletes playing.
Oh yeah,
that's part of my algorithm. I'm not ashamed of.
You got a lot of hot athletes on your.
Or like,
why not?
I do.
Or like the hot coach algorithm. The hotter the coach, the better the football team.
Oh yes. Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur.
The Eagles who won.
He's not a good looking coach.
Are you talking about
Nick Sirianni?
Nick Sirianni's not bad.
Are you serious?
He's got really pretty eyes.
Okay, the eyes is about it.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
when he does his
I don't know how to look at dudes, right?
Nick Sirianni.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Seriously.
Yeah.
He's mid.
Hey.
He's a good coach.
Super Bowl winning coach.
He's Super Bowl winning coach. But whatever.
Bill Belichick.
Anyway. No. He and Andy Reid are the exceptions. Another place I like to take it, they are museums.
That's what I was going to say.
Those are
museums.
Nice.
I love museums.
Yeah. And I don't mean just like, go to the museum for the sake of the museum. Like, actually go and enjoy the art. Like, put yourself into like an
I
art
love
critic.
History.
Stuff like that.
I wanted to go to the Milwaukee Public Museum with a girl, but then I canceled because it's just like...
You canceled?
Well, I think she canceled. We were both busy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think my favorite museum I've gone to is the Milwaukee one here. I think that's probably...
The art museum?
I was going to say...
Although...
Invite a girl to hear you preach.
As a date?
I've done that too.
As a date?
It was. I don't know if it was a date.
Okay,
but I was like, hey, I'm preaching. Come hear me.
Yeah, pull up.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I think that's fun too.
Yeah, I would do that too. I'd be like, come on.
So, I mean, not museum, I guess, but in terms of like, I mean, I put it as an art exhibit. The Art Institute of Chicago is A1.
Well, that is such a pretty one.
That is an entire day.
Like, yes,
you have
it's like
to go
5
all day.
Floors.
It is so extensive, but it's so good.
Just looking at art.
Just looking at art, criticizing it, critiquing it, looking at what you like. I don't know. Like, we had a really good time. And we weren't even dating at that point, but we had a really good time. I think Food Spots is a good date to go on. This time around, we kind of did a food tasting tour, kind of like we went to different spots.
Okay.
Michael, you like to go to a lot of food places. What's like a food spot you'd recommend here?
Honestly, I really don't go to a lot of food places.
Well, that Italian place we went.
Taco Bell. But I've never taken a girl there.
Neither should you. At least right away.
At least you shouldn't take her to that Italian place we went to.
That in Milwaukee, I don't know, because Milwaukee, that's not vegetarian. Like, it's not really.
I think we should do that. Just like kind of like tasting the vegetarian spot in Milwaukee.
Yeah, there's a few places. There's
like
this one place they have veggie burgers. I think it's Crazy. No, what's it called? Crazy Vegetables, Crazy Burgers. I forget.
I don't know.
But it's like there's a few of them.
Another one that I haven't taken her to, but it's more because of there hasn't been the opportunity, is I want to take her to a play.
Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah, so when she
should go to Greendale, Wisconsin, where they have plays outside.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an outside theater. It's super pretty.
When she came in January, that's kind of like their off season. So there's no plays going on.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which is really sad.
Well,
or the symphony orchestra.
Inside. Yeah, you should. The orchestra is nice.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything going on.
There's always something going on at the orchestra.
Not during January.
Oh, during the first 3 weeks?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero.
Well, I mean, it's a holiday pops. She was here for the holiday pops.
Nope, she was here too late. It ended on the 24th. She arrived the 25th.
Right. That's no, yeah.
Or
I remember because
like
I went to the holiday pops, and then the next day after it was over for the season.
Yeah, that's somewhere I want to take her to. And like, we had a really good time. Like, when we were at West, going to the different plays, I thought it was a lot of fun.
I went to all of them.
Yeah, and
Beauty and the
that's
Beast is
something I
still
want
the
to.
favorite.
Yeah, I mean that one was A1. I actually still follow Belle on Instagram. She's happy now. I saw
That's
her at the
good.
reunion. I like, yeah, she's a lot of fun. And also we had a good time at the where did we go for your birthday that one time?
We went to Broadway.
We went to-
Go to
We
Olive
went to
Garden.
go.
I feel like that's where I always
We
go.
went to go see the Music Man.
That was a
It was
great
good.
showing.
Yeah,
Yep, and Hugh Jackman was the leading man.
that's
He's so good at what he does. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that they and I have done, and it's I guess another idea is explore city. So we've done that a couple times. We went and explored Chicago. We went and explored Oconomowoc. We tried like a different gelato spot there, things like that. Chicago, she wants to go back because I mean Chicago's pretty big, right?
Yeah, there's always something to do.
Yeah, one place that I've been telling her that I want to take her is to Madison, but I haven't really taken her to Madison to.
Oh.
I mean, I've taken her to the Capitol, but not really to check out the different spots in Madison that I used to go there, and I know different restaurants, and it's nice. But exploring a city, I think, could be really nice, and it's not that expensive per se if you don't go to a ton of places. Just like pick one or two museums, one or two, like a spot to eat, a dessert spot.
Some girls don't like that though. Some girls.
Yeah, some girls don't.
I know, because I remember I did that kind of with one girl. We went out to eat, and then we went out to like the domes, and kind of sim. She was like,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, it's her responsibility to communicate that
Yeah.
Communicate what?
that she didn't want to do it.
I'm actually not a museums type of girl. I'm more of a let's go see trucks smash into each other. The Bradley Center type. Yeah.
The Globetrotters.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd have been like, okay, yeah, cool.
I think an escape room would be fun, or
Oh,
like
wow.
Dave
We
and
haven't done
I would
that.
Buster's.
embarrass myself and be like, not
I
getting
did
out
an
the first
escape
level.
room one time, and it was with Caesar, and I don't think we got out because I was pretty.
You
I didn't
died.
really know what I was doing at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, if
So-
you do it with people who've done it before, it's crazy. Like, because I did it with the Bacchuses, and they do them all the time, and they're just like, I mean, he's a doctor, so I guess he knows how to like figure stuff out. But I kind of do too as a healthcare provider. But yeah, like,
But,
it was like
I
Being
think
a health provider does not make you
no, because
qualified.
we're all
you're an expert in the scientific
we
method.
all try to figure out what's wrong with this person. Like, it's all. So we're looking for clues.
You got
we ask
investigative
questions,
skills.
We got investigative skills, but
Yeah.
it's a different level with them. escape rooms, man.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a
I
cool
didn't find
day
out one clue
to know
the
how
whole
you
time.
work together, and even if you don't get out, and even if you're not smart, but like you can see communication styles real
Yep.
quick.
Yep. One thing that Day and I did too is we went on an ice cream tour. We've tasted every single custard spot in the southeastern Wisconsin.
What?
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Have you gone to?
And Leon's is awful. The best one is Cops. Oscars is really good, but Cops is on another
Have you gone
level.
like to mom and pop ice cream shops?
Yes. There's
Like
one in like
Leduc's?
northern Wisconsin. There's one in like one in Oconomowoc, which is really nice.
Like-
It's like super hidden.
Y'all
Have
did
you
that,
gone to, like,
in one
Leduc's?
day?
No, we would go like every weekend.
Oh.
We would go somewhere new or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you haven't tried them all.
Leon's is.
In the Milwaukee County, yes, we have
Okay.
100%, 100% of the custard spots.
There's a lot of ice cream shops.
Yeah, and we've gone to those even in the ghetto. We've done the tour.
Talk about diabetes.
It's something we don't have. I think that,
It's
and this
coming.
is something you suggested when we were doing our notes, is active dates. So like
Mhm.
running dates. Was that you, Mike, who suggested
Running?
that? Like active dates?
I would not go on a running date.
I mean,
I mean, not on a first date.
I would go on a walking date.
Yeah, well, you don't like to run, so it's
It'd
different.
have to be an established relationship for you to see.
Yeah,
Really?
to see you run.
Maybe like
So, for example,
Working out, maybe not
like
running.
Madeline likes to run. You wouldn't go on a running like let's say you and her were to.
very
It would-
slow pace.
Would it be
I'm
like
not
a
gonna kill
combination of
myself.
like we're gonna run and then we're
Yeah.
gonna stop and get some food type of thing?
It could be, but active dates. Are you guys opposed to that?
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
It depends
Well,
what we're
that's hiking
doing.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hiking
Hiking
is
is active.
active. What other thing is active? What are you gonna go grocery shopping together?
Hikes, just plain hikes.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's,
active.
fine.
There's a lot of nice trails in Wisconsin.
Mhm.
Sad to be
I'd
back
probably do it on a
some.
second date, like a nice hike, like to Devil's Lake.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I wouldn't.
yeah,
true. I wouldn't do it on a first date. Like,
I don't
it'd
think
be
I've
kind
taken
of.
her to Devil's Lake.
It's kind of.
I'm bad.
I think it's kind of maybe a little weird. Just in case, because the girl doesn't know you, and then you're taking her on this like trail. There's like nobody around.
Yeah, like when this guy asked me to go walking, I'm like, we're not going there.
If I did,
because like the place he suggested was like super a whole bunch of trees and secluded.
Yeah, no, if
I'm
it
like,
was, it had to be like in a wide open park where there's and like during the business part of the day,
where
like,
there's
a lot of people walking around, so she doesn't get like, she's taking me in this back, very like sparsely populated.
I think another good date idea, which I haven't done with the other day, is pop-ups. So do you remember when we went to? Was I with you when we went to that? Oh, I think the three of us went. It's like the pop-up food truck thing at the corners of Brookfield.
Oh yeah, you went with me.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I've introduced you to a lot of my friends.
What else?
Huh?
What else?
Like all the events we've gone to.
Yeah, like the pop-up events. That's true. Yeah, you have done that.
Broadway.
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing that they and I did have done, which is super fun, is we made an entire meal just based on food we bought at a farmer's market.
Okay.
That's
so like
really
a cooking.
fun.
So it's a cooking date.
Yeah, but it has the little caveat that it has to be fresh from the ground. You can't buy it at a store. It's like fresh from farmer to table. I think that's fun.
Okay.
Like food tastes different. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Like it could just be raw. It could be a little different. Like the bread tastes different. I think that's a lot of fun. And just try new experiences together.
Yeah.
Would you?
I mean, I don't know if I would go like what do you call it, parasailing or like that together, but
no, I can't. I have to do that first because I'd probably be too concerned.
Well, yeah, just like don't put her like in danger, right?
I gotta look confident in the situation that I'm in. If I'm taking her, I can't. We're not gonna skydive on the first time I'm doing it because it's gonna look.
That's a fair
point.
You
have to feel competent in the activity.
Yeah, I gotta be like, yeah, this is nothing. Come on, like she gotta have confidence in me. She can't be looking at me and be like, oh.
Okay, that's.
Hold on, but okay, so that's actually fair. But okay, so then what's one thing that you would do together that's new for you, both of you?
Trying out a new restaurant? No, probably not. I wouldn't do that either. Because
you wouldn't do that.
No,
either.
I would not try out a new restaurant.
Why not?
Because sometimes the food's bad.
Yeah, but then you have that experience. Like, oh, we went to this awful restaurant.
Yes,
and that's an experience in and of itself.
I don't. Well, maybe I guess it depends on the girl. I guess.
Yeah, like it builds camaraderie, right? Like you both went through something.
Yeah.
Like this restaurant was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's never gonna trust me to pick again.
What's a new experience you would do with your man, Doc? Or
I mean, I'm pretty open.
I mean, that's true. You're pretty
open to
amusement park.
You've never been on that's a good date.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
I went with you today to what's the one in Green Bay?
Bay Beach.
She does not like roller coasters.
No,
I was so disappointed. My heart dropped.
Did you get scared?
Yeah. Aww. So like I had to. So like she accompanied me in line.
And then she would wait for you.
And then she just waited.
That just kills the day.
I know.
Don't worry, we're not gonna die.
I know, but
it's like I'll protect you, baby.
I know, but she wasn't. I was so sad, but I guess. What about dates we shouldn't go on?
Bars.
What do you call it? My rule of thumb is, what do you call it? Start at the things we shouldn't do and then presume all else goes, right? So I think my list of do not is pretty short in terms of like, which is number one, bars or just places where drinking is the primary activity, right?
Yes.
So like if you go to a bar crawl or like they just close down a street at like for like a street concert, but everybody's just drinking there. That seems a little uncomfortable to me to do that.
It's easy to also...
But like Waukesha Friday Night Lights is a little different.
Well, that's because they have businesses stuff as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a small market.
Well, I'd say once you put alcohol into the mix, it's easy to take advantage of people, and so like if you drink and you're drunk, you can't you're not on your sharpest mind. So like a girl could maybe be taken advantage of or something like that. So
well,
I think that's something good to put out in there.
Even if us who are both Adventists don't drink, people around us do drink, and we are putting ourselves in a position where a fight might break out.
Yeah,
where we're putting ourselves in danger. But like, leaving the spot, and somebody who had too much to drink, rams us.
You make poor. You'll make poor decisions too.
Yeah.
Even if we don't drink.
No, with drinking.
Yeah, but I'm assuming like, or what I'm saying is I'm not even putting myself in a
just
position
don't go in there. Yeah.
where drinking is a primary activity.
Yeah.
And then the other one
we
say
did that once. You want to share the?
Yeah.
We didn't drink, but like
I was gonna say that's actually the exception to my rule, where like we went to a jazz club.
Yeah.
And we had we went to listen to the jazz music.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. Strangely enough.
Yeah, we only did it. I went. That was the second time I went. And then I brought you. With me, and we met 2 girls at the bar
who we knew.
No,
remember at the wedding that she was about to get.
No, I'm talking about the girls you talked to though, because there was 2 friends.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember one was married, unfortunately, because she was cute, and then she was getting married.
Yeah,
and then the other friend. I talked to her.
Something tells me I talked to the married one.
You talked to the married one. I did. Well, she was the cuter one. So
yeah, they were married girls.
The friend, she was nice, but I don't know. I was like not interested.
Yeah.
But we were talking. We both had like Shirley Temples, Virgin Shirley Temples.
I mean, Shirley Temples are virgin by nature.
Oh, they are. Okay, I don't know. But we were like sticking out like a sore thumb.
My other.
But we had a good time.
Yeah. So that's probably the exception. But do you agree with that premise, or or do you not have that exception that I have, which is like if you're gonna go see like a jazz performance or like somebody,
I wouldn't go.
You would not go.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't go to just because.
Well, the reasons I mentioned, right? It's dangerous.
And
it's
not only that,
the atmosphere is not right.
It's loud.
It was loud at ours.
It was super loud.
I didn't expect that. I was thinking more like slow, smooth jazz. They were kind of just like some of them was like rock music. I was like,
because jazz club. So like I think bars and stuff are usually really loud, and I'm like deaf. Like if I'm on a date and I want to get to know somebody,
because then it's just overwhelming.
I need to be able to hear you, right, in a genuine way. I'm not just gonna pretend to hear what you said and then just go, like.
Yeah, that makes
I see that
sense.
for strangers, so I wouldn't go. Not only because of that, but because of that.
My other, or I guess my number 2 no is secular concerts.
Yes.
So I would not go to a secular concert, even though like Taylor Swift is super big now, and like Adventist girls are all over that. I would not like. She's like, oh, let's go to to Taylor Swift or Selena Gomez or like Beyonce's coming to town. That's a hard no
Post
for me.
Malone.
Whatever it is. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a band I listen to that's coming to Milwaukee, and I get ads on Instagram, and I sent a screenshot to it today, and I'm like, don't even suggest it because I'm not gonna go. And deep down, I'm like, I kind of want to see them live, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I can't put myself in that position to do that. No. So I'm out. I am out.
I mean, because if we should be careful about what we listen to.
Exactly.
Right.
I have this thing with secular music where I get it that we probably should stray away from it for obvious reasons, and we may or may not listen to it, right? I mean, like there's some that I listen to, but I have this pet peeve where it just makes me feel weird, where there are some Adventists who know that X or Y artist is markedly like bad, like their music is just like not.
There's nothing uplifting. There's nothing motivational, inspirational.
It's just all about sexual in nature, whatever.
Drugs,
and then they just promote that they listen to them on their Instagram and like lie and like just on their social media. And to me, I'm like, that's super. Like, I get it that you sin, but at least don't flaunt
Keep it on the DL.
But like, don't flaunt it. Don't act like you're proud of like, oh, this is me going somewhere like where this is cool.
Like I remember I had a Drake song
like,
on
like I'm totally set apart, but look at me at this concert. Everybody enjoy me. Like that's a little weird.
Yeah, no, even I was driving home and I had a Drake song on my Snap story, which was, I don't even use Snap no more. And my friend was like, oh man, why are you in your feels? I was like, cuz bro, no. But people, they definitely take notice of that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what Drake song that was.
Christian concerts would be nice. It's a different
Christian concerts would be nice.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's Christian music. And you can like go to dinner after or something.
I have gone to a Christian church where they started off song service with a secular song.
Really? A Christian concert?
No, just like a regular worship service.
Oh,
And then the first song they started was with a secular song.
yeah,
That's really weird to me.
What was the song?
I don't even remember.
I went to with my friend. I went to like a women's retreat at this like mega church in Illinois.
Yes.
Was that Adventist?
No, it wasn't. It was non-denominational, and everything was fine. We started Friday, Saturday was going fine, and then during like a break, all of a sudden, you have like this cover band come out and sing "That's What Makes You Beautiful" by One Direction.
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
goodness!
in church, this is like sacrilegious.
Yeah, see, non-denominational churches. That's why.
Baby,
I like what they try to do, but I got some.
I think it was more of like a women's what do you call it? Like a self-esteem thing that they're like, that's what makes you beautiful.
Well, I mean, it was a woman's event, and then but yeah, that was funny. But I also think a great date idea, or are we just talking about bad dates now? I think a great date idea would be like volunteering together.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do that this time around.
Yeah, volunteer together.
Yeah. I remember we brought Pastor it wasn't really a date, but Pastor what's his name? The conference director, youth conference director, Zach, yeah, and he was telling me, he told us like,
that they were working together.
Well, yeah, how he asked his,
thing.
I don't know if they were officially boyfriend girlfriend at the time, but he had asked her to like come and help with like
VBS.
VBS, a program that they were doing. And
no, I don't know. They weren't dating at the time.
Oh, okay, but it was kind of like they used that as an opportunity to connect. And
yeah,
no, that's real. I think my last third no though is a hard no, but it's a lot of like cool events happen on Friday nights, like cruises and different events. Just anything on Friday nights.
Dating Friday nights.
Yeah,
no,
like going to like a high school football game would be interesting, but can't do that. College football can't do that.
Not on Fridays.
Prom.
Yeah.
Does that count as a date? I guess it can. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
I think it does. If you go.
I took a girl to a Marine Corps ball.
Oh, nice.
That was fun.
Okay.
Yeah, she really liked me. I liked her, but
reasons.
I think at the end of the day, for me,
what are some hard no's for you guys?
Hard and then we'll go into movies. Me are more of what does the place represent, and if God's being glorified there.
Okay.
Like for me personally, and I'm working on this. I don't think I would want to go on a date to a movie theater.
Okay.
And I know that's controversial within our church, but just anything, and I know we're going to talk about it, like traveling together. Like I think anything that's like the appearance of evil or can put you in that scenario is not good. So at least for me, it's more of is a place where I'm going to glorify God, and then that will determine if it's bad or not. Because there are like ice cream shops that look like bars, like so.
Yeah. How would a drive-in movie theater fit that description?
Even worse.
I would no, of course not.
Because then you're alone.
To be alone with a man in a car that I am very attracted to. No.
Wait. Time out. You're telling me it's okay to drive with him an hour to Madison is fine, but
you're driving.
We're driving. We're not sitting idly
so
in the car.
So you can't control yourself for an hour in the car.
I can.
It's like 2 or 3 hours a movie, man.
I can, but the movie.
You're by yourself. You guys aren't doing anything. You're just watching. It's like Netflix and chill.
Yeah,
but
see, that's a bad date. That's a bad date idea. Netflix and chill.
I was gonna mention, a no for me is home. Like I wouldn't invite
it's
them
a
home.
very slippery slope.
Unless it's like a group setting or there's more people there, but just me and her. Like, oh yeah, like come over to my place. I'll cook you some food. Like, no, I can't do that.
I can't do that either. Like I have my own place.
Maybe if we're engaged. But then it might be even harder. But.
I have I have a hard rule. There will be no man in my house. And if he does come, he is not going upstairs at all. And he can't be there for more than like...
Use the bathroom?
There's a bathroom downstairs right by the kitchen.
What if it's preoccupied?
Huh?
And it's during
if
Thanksgiving
it's preoccupied,
dinner. What if the toilet's broke? No.
If it's preoccupied, he can go upstairs. Obviously, I'm not going to say no, but like...
What if he's tired and he needs to sleep? No.
Well, I can drive him home. The thing is that it's a hard boundary for me because I know it can get thingy real quick.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Now,
know yourself.
what if you were friends with this guy for a while and
Still.
y'all didn't date, but now you're dating, so you would
No.
block him from coming to your house now?
I would
You
let
can't
him.
come no more.
I would let him go to my house, but like I'm telling you, like it would be very like.
Can't go upstairs no more.
So then you
Off
also would
limits.
not go over to his house,
I know. I don't think so.
right?
Unless it's like
oh no, and if I do, I would like just like I have the rule of like in the living room, like
Exclusively.
yeah.
he's not spending the night.
No, even no.
I think for movies, for me, it's a maybe, and I say that because there are some really good films that.
What if you're watching God's Not Dead?
No.
It doesn't matter if it's a Christian movie. You're surely not gonna do anything.
No.
And Jesus is on the
Specifically in
screen staring
Adventist.
at you.
Like there's
Cuddling together on a couch. I don't know. I feel like it can go south real quick.
We're talking about the movies
can
now.
doesn't mean it will.
I would
Well,
just
I
say
am not putting myself
No, I
in the
wouldn't- I
place of
wouldn't-
temptation.
I wouldn't invite them like just by themselves. Like it would be a group setting. They're like, yeah, you
Okay,
can come
a
over.
group
Yeah.
setting.
So
Okay,
like,
that's better.
So it's like a double date at his house.
Okay, that's better. We're not alone.
But you wouldn't because obviously I like to cook, so I would like cook a meal,
Yeah,
and I've seen you do this. Have the candlelight,
candlelit dinner.
right here, right?
Yeah,
candlelight dinner.
It's in
But
the
it's just
living room.
you.
It's a public
but
area.
it's just you and your whoever and your boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, but like I guess I
That's not a
wouldn't.
public area. You're in a house. Like this isn't.
I guess okay. So
If it's
it
just
would
you
be
two.
kitchen, living room, like there, but I wouldn't stay an extended amount of time.
okay.
I don't think I could do it though. If she's in my home and it's just me and her, and I add some nice food, especially if I cook some good. It smells nice.
You do
and I got
good,
some
pretty.
nice-
You cook pretty good.
And I make some nice music because I got my nice.
Yeah.
No, that's too much.
I think with movies, I think the Adventist Church is a little hypocritical on a lot of things because, like recently, I just saw the Adventist News Network. I think it was the Adventist News Network.
Okay.
Say like, Adventist filmmaker wins award at wins famous international movie award.
For what movie?
Saw that.
What movie?
Okay, I don't know what it was, but they just produced a movie, right? So then we're saying, as an Adventist, you can be a filmmaker. We just can't recommend people to go see your films
can
where
see it
they
at
would
home.
make money.
Streaming services now,
Films make money, the most of their money at the movie
the
theaters.
movie theater.
unless you're like the chosen,
then-
and then you're doing it
Again,
like for the
they
right
actually
purpose.
do releases at the movie theater first.
Chosen didn't, not the first 2 seasons,
Yeah, but then,
Yeah, they
were
but
all
then what
online.
happened?
but they needed more money. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
what do you
yeah,
know? They
yeah.
went straight to the movie theaters.
Oh, did they?
So my thing is, I think there are movies that are worth seeing, even as a Christian, that going to the movie theater is not a problem for.
Yeah.
I would say that. 100%.
But there are the percentage is very low.
Yeah, most movies.
What-
But I mean,
necessarily.
what movie
Like,
in
I'll
the-
give you an example.
what movie
The
in the movie-
Brutalist.
Huh?
The Brutalist. That won the best.
The
Best.
Brewer List? I've
The
never heard of this
Brutalist.
movie.
Brutalist.
Brutalist, like brutal.
It's about an architect.
Oh, the 3-hour movie you were telling me about?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. What's so good about it?
Okay, so you haven't seen it, so you wouldn't know. But it's about the American dream. It's about disappointment. It's about a lot of like stuff that we can connect to, especially as immigrants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those things I don't see as something to avoid. Like
Okay.
themes like that, I think would
I
be
mean,
good
that's
to
why
see.
I said the movie
Like-
theater is a controversial topic.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and for me, it's a
I've
definite
struggled
go.
with it. Like, I've gone to the movie theater. I mean, Mike, we went to the movie theater the other day.
Mhm.
But it's a struggle of like, because I know that when I'm at the movie theater, it is not drawing me closer to God
Okay.
at all.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
just, but that's just
does
me.
everything we do need to draw us closer to God?
I think so.
So like running, does that
Huh?
draw you closer to God?
Yes, because you are glorifying God
I mean,
through
it
your
can
body.
if you're thinking. I mean, I like
How does
I
an
like running.
escape
I
room
like running in nature.
Draw you
Huh?
closer to God.
See, that's a good question. Maybe I should question that idea.
But maybe
Or-
maybe
yeah.
not everything is to be like. Because
It doesn't have to
Right.
be like explicitly spiritual. Like
That's what you're insinuating.
I think
but
what you're saying is
is it, like,
it
healthy?
shouldn't draw you. Oh, it shouldn't draw you away from God. I think that's what you should. Say.
Yeah.
okay, there.
Yes,
It shouldn't
there
draw
you
me
go.
away from
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Now, Abby, so I guess when it comes to soloed versus accompanied dates, you guys are all accompanied 100% of
No,
the
that's
way?
just on my
No.
home.
Okay, so accompanied if you're home, solo
But there
if you're
has to
away.
be people.
We can
Like
go.
if I go on a date, it can't be just We
Like
can't just be by ourselves.
we can go to a
Really?
restaurant.
I had to be an eye shot of someone, or like.
Can you really not control yourself without somebody seeing you?
I don't know. The thoughts are gonna be wild. I mean, the
See,
Bible
but that's
tells
more
us,
of a you
but
thing, right?
no. Well, I think the principle. The Bible tells us to gird our loins. You know, and the Bible tells us to be careful, like what we think, and not put ourselves on like shaky, slippery.
Okay,
Yeah,
but like
don't
a
put your
hike
place
between
in-
just two people to catch a sunrise. Hard. It's like
Well, you're
there-
outside. You're outside. So unless you're like some
You're in
Ted
public.
Bundy type of dude, or you guys are just
Yeah, but a
Freaks.
drive-in movie theater is also in public.
Hmm?
Drive-in movie theater is also in public.
in the
in the
dark.
dark in the
In
car.
the
See, you see
car.
movies. Come on, man.
I've never gone to a drive-in.
Have you seen
actually.
Back to the Future?
I've never gone to a
Wait.
drive-in.
I've
We're-
never
we're-
gone.
we're
I've never
specifically
gone
talking
to
about
the.
drive-in.
Never gone to a drive-in.
They have like
I haven't
very
actually. But
I
little
just
ones, but that was
know.
pretty common, like practice.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
there's
go
still one
to-
in Wisconsin. We should go.
There's one. They're all like
If they're showing
just-
something worth seeing, obviously.
Yeah,
Because,
because
like,
they're
I'm a
never
fan
open
of-
during the day because
Yeah.
no one's gonna see it during the day. Like it's gonna be too hard to see the screen. But like they're always.
Like I'm a
at
huge
night.
fan of like what do you call it? Musical scores, right? So like the orchestral music in films, if you disconnect it from the film, it's just really, really good music that I'm a huge fan
Yeah,
of.
I'm like that.
And like I'll listen, like there's movies that I've never seen, but I love the score of. Like one of my favorite composers, his name is Brian Tyler. He's more contemporary, right? But he made a movie like it's not recent, right? It's a long time ago, but it's called Charlie's Angels. Awful movie, from what I hear. I've never seen it, but the music from it has like some bangers in it, and I'm like, this is really good stuff. Also, I never saw what's it called, the Lightyear, I think it was called, like from Buzz Lightyear. That came out a couple years ago.
The remake
that was like the prequel supposedly.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I never.
Michael
saw it.
Giacchino.
Oh, he's good. I remember him from.
I have a hot take on him. I think he's hit and miss. I don't really like him.
Well,
like
I just
that.
remember him specifically because back in the day he used to do a lot of movie or video game soundtracks for Medal of Honor series.
Oh,
So they
that's
Or
fun.
maybe that's his
they were
bread and butter,
before
video games.
they were before
Yeah.
Call of Duty. So the people who were in Medal of Honor, they split, and the people who split started Infinity Ward and Call of Duty.
Oh,
But he used to do a lot of their music.
oh, that's fun.
Yeah, Michael Giacchino.
No, Giacchino.
Yeah, I
Giacchino.
don't know how I spell it, but a lot of his soundtracks
Yeah.
were legendary on that.
And like, there's some songs
good.
from like films that I have watched that are just super
What are we
revolutionary.
trying to get to?
My point is that like even in like some of these films, like that, let's say they don't distract me from God, right? And we were talking
Okay.
about what do you call it? We were talking about we're driving movie theaters, and then that brought me back to music.
Yeah.
But I guess we can talk about that another time. But
Well, finish your point.
On
How
drive-in
about
movie
the
theaters.
soundtrack?
oh yeah. Well, I guess it was just that I told Abby that there's my Michael Giacchino. Oh no, it wasn't Michael. My favorite one from the movie that I've seen is How to Train Your Dragon.
That's
That
a great soundtrack.
by I forget his first
Isn't
name,
it Hans
but
Zimmer?
but last name Powell. He
Oh,
I
Glenn-
think no, it was
No,
not,
no,
it's
no.
not Glenn Powell.
It's not-
I
he's
forget
an
his name,
actor.
but his last name Powell. No, she said Glenn Powell,
The
like
actor.
Oh,
Glenn Powell,
like
the
Colin
politician.
Powell?
That's so
oh yeah,
funny.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah, no. But
very diverse man.
like that score for me has been revolutionary, and it's got me through a lot of hard places. Hans Zimmer, John Williams, you don't even have to, say, like, a lot of that music is just so uplifting, where my mother, she'll sometimes, like, mom, she'll just hear it sometimes and be like, that is such a wonderful music. And I'll be like, yes, it is.
But I mean,
And the thing is, if you don't tie the music to the film and it stands on its own, I feel like the music is good
but are
on
we
its own.
supposed to be surprised that this music is so beautiful?
Well, music.
Satan
it
was
makes
the
us,
director
yeah.
of the choir.
Exactly.
He is the master of music, and he makes beautiful scores.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're tied in with these movies, it can, it makes me think of like The First Temptation. You mix truth with a lie.
Okay.
So like it's hard out here because there are lots of beautiful things out there
Yep.
that are created that are mixed in with things
But
that
then there are
don't-
things like that we are typical that we don't consider. Like, for example, there are some churches who don't allow drums in church, but then we'll say put the track. and then you have
it's
just
the
like
same
a full
Yeah,
drum beat.
it's the same with
It's like, what are we
music.
doing here?
People at my church,
Or like
do
we'll say,
that.
oh no, let's
like-
listen to classical musician. Then you put Chopin or Mozart. Were they Christian? Like what are we
they were
talking about
Christian.
here?
Yeah, they were.
Okay, really? Bach
Of course.
was Christian.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
everybody was Christian at the time.
Yes.
And all
All
of
of
their
them.
music
Tremendous.
was heavenly inspired. Is what you're saying?
I don't
None
know
of
if
it.
they were
Yes.
inspired.
None of it
I don't know if
was.
they're
Have
all
you gone to
inspired,
the
but
MSO? Have you gone to see
I haven't gone to the MSO. I
Messiah?
wanna go.
Like
Messiah
all
is
of
different.
all of these
Messiah is on
celestial
another
stuff.
level.
They were made. All the music that they made, all the big stuff, they were made to be played in church.
Yes.
they were heavily
They were.
influenced by their
That's what I'm
religious
saying.
And what I'm
So,
saying
if
is,
you're
is
making
that a
music
lot
to-
of that stuff
heavenly
can be
inspired.
applied now
To what?
to modern composers.
I
Well, I mean,
wouldn't
you guys can
I wouldn't
disagree.
put modern composer music to. I wouldn't
Like, for
play that.
example,
I'll give you an example.
I give you an example of this. Ready?
Yeah.
So, John Williams, right?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yes.
He went to Europe to tour some basilicas.
Yes.
And when he went into one of them, somebody was playing the theme song of Jurassic Park in church. And he's not Christian. And he's like, that was a little sacrilegious to me.
Mhm.
Damn.
See? Like
Because it's not about glorifying God.
even
It's
people
just
that
about
aren't Christian or
Yeah.
in the church, they know to respect the church. Like, you know, and then if you bring music that wasn't even inspired, who knows what the heck inspired
yeah.
Jurassic Park and bring it into church?
If you're on the Sabbath or you're in a church, the music that you play should be dedicated to God or glorify.
So like
God.
you guys would listen to Bach on Sabbath.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if his
Like
music.
we're good with that.
Yeah, it depends. I don't
mean,
know.
I
It
listen
depends.
to-
Is the music dedicated to God? Like a lot of the hymns, they're very spiritual and doctrinal messages in those hymns that we sing. You know, they're clearly dedicated to God. They
Yeah.
wrote them out of hardship. Even a lot of more secular music, you know, they're talking about God and stuff like that. Soundtracks, some music is going to make you feel a certain way.
Yep.
Like
Mm-hmm.
they like bring out emotions and they bring out feelings. It's supposed to do that. That's what makes music good and why so many people listen to it. But that doesn't
Yes.
necessarily mean it brings you closer to God. Because some music makes you just
Or that it'll take you
music,
further away.
Yeah, I mean, some music it makes you contemplate things, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I think about God sometimes when I listen to some secular music, but I know the song itself isn't
Isn't
dedicated to
that
God.
is to
So.
God. Ari told me the other day that Lady Gaga came out with a new song, and she put a ritual thing in it.
Oh, she used to be Christian.
So everybody
right?
that sings that song is practicing
gay.
what?
Like a ritual.
Yeah.
That's
It's like a
Gary,
ritual.
actually. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
So like, how much more? And she's open about that. But how much music out there? It sounds nice, but like they put stuff in it that
you wouldn't know.
you wouldn't know of. But it sounds inspiring. But if something's
Lady
in
Gaga
there,
sounds inspiring.
Huh?
You would categorize her music as inspiring.
no, not hers exactly. But I just use it as an example. But I
Okay.
use that to say is like, the music industry is not run by God, especially Hollywood. It's
How-
not run by God. So
That brings up a whole nother question of what do you call it? The Christian music industry.
Yeah,
as well.
that's a whole other
Which
thing
is
as
a
well.
whole other thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that glorifies God particularly that much too, but that's neither here nor there. Let's segue, I guess,
Back?
a hard segue back to the episode and talk about the kind of like, I guess, cheap versus expensive dates. I mean, the research obviously shows that women choose men based on how they feel the man's ability to provide is. So I don't think it's, what do you call it, unrealistic to expect for men to treat them, I guess. But I think my rule of thumb is what do you call it? Let the commitment reflect the level of the budget.
what?
Or I should say the budget reflect the level of the commitment. So let's start with a low budget because there's low commitment, right? And then you work your way up. More commitment, then I can commit more money. What do you call it? Then I can put more money towards you and towards the date.
And that low budget looks different for everybody. Because if you're a millionaire, your low budget is
I think
what?
it's relative to her then at that point.
$1,000.
I still think it applies. Like, you don't want to.
No, I know it applies, but I guess what I'm saying is
It's relative.
for different
I don't think
levels
it should be.
of thing. Because like if like let's say you, Michael, you take someone out to coffee and a millionaire takes them, who spent more money at the end of the day? You did. Because
It's
you
relative money.
Because you make less money.
Yeah, but it's still like,
I guess what I'm trying to say is the budget looks different depending on your socioeconomic status.
So
but what
you're
if what if you're dating? What if like a millionaire takes you out and he just goes for coffee? Like, does that mean he's not putting in? I know,
No.
but does that mean he's not putting?
Not you, but
I'm saying,
would you say the typical?
Hold on,
girl?
Does that mean he's putting in low effort?
Can I finish? Does that? Well, that's exactly like. Would you be like, oh, he's a millionaire, he only wants to go to coffee?
No, it wouldn't mean that to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
like,
not you, but I think some women would say that.
Well, then
Some
they're toxic.
women would.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think a
100%.
millionaire. I think if it doesn't matter how much money you have, like it should still. I mean that's how I would view like what you're saying, like commitment should match like the budget.
The budget should match the commitment.
Yeah, and I think regardless if you're a billionaire, like don't just go like, hey, yeah, I got a yacht, like, or let's go for a flight to Morocco for a date. You know, like no, that's way too much.
For a first date, no.
Yeah, so like for
maybe
example,
unless you guys are both millionaires or billionaires, then
that's different.
But
do you remember the concept? And like, there's reels and memes of this where it's like you see guys like parking their like really cheap cars, and it's like the first date went well, and then they get out of their car, and then they pull out their keys, and then toot, toot, and then there's like the more expensive car there. So then like she likes me even if I have like a crappy car, but then like, okay, she likes me for me. So then I can actually show her I have money. There's like this story where that's
what I've always thought of.
Yeah. There's a story where like this guy owned like a really huge distributing center and he was really well off. And then he met this woman who said, oh, I just work at a hospital, right? Like as a nurse. And then they just started talking to each other. And then like a year into their marriage, they realized that, oh, wait, she actually runs like one of the departments. And then he actually owns this really huge distributing center.
They got married without knowing any of that?
Well, the whole point of it was the fact that like
it was a made up
story,
correct?
They didn't realize it. I mean, I don't know if it was made up or not.
Because the fact that they didn't get a prenup. She runs the hospital, like, they both got money. Rich people usually.
Is that the point still stands, right? That, you, what do you call it? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say, or I guess is my next point, and this is for guys specifically. Do not lead with money. Do not lead with money. Don't try to flaunt that you have money. Don't try to take
lead
her
with
on
money, women or men.
Why would women lead with money?
Because there's rich women out there that lead with money.
And want young guys with no money? Is that what you're saying?
I guess what I'm trying to say is women can lead with money as well.
Okay, sure. Specifically, guys, though, I think it makes it a bigger point than it should be way too early on. And then I think I mentioned this in another episode, which is it starts, or even in this episode, I can't even remember at this point. But the point is that it gets to the idea that you're starting to build expectations and starting to build a baseline, right? Mm-hmm. To where you don't want to start too early. And also you don't want to make with the money the thing that attracts her to you, right? Mm-hmm. You want it to be your personality. You want it to be who you are, your character, and your walk with God, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, because a lot of millionaires, just because they have money, a lot of people just think because they have money exclusively, that means everything's perfect, going to work out. Yeah. But there's a lot of people who have failed relationships who have tons of money.
Yeah.
Tons of different kids, tons of different marriages.
It's because money's not everything.
Money's not everything. Nope. Sex isn't everything.
Nope.
It's just important, but it's just, the most important thing is the person.
Yeah, character. That's true. Would you guys say that there's too cheap of a date?
No.
Really?
Dude, literally could go walking for a date.
I don't
you don't have to spend any money.
I think there's too cheap.
What do you mean too cheap? Like as someone's cheapening out?
I don't think, I think as a first date,
maybe as a first
walk
date
is
different.
Too cheap of a date. Aranza, are you laughing at me? Do you think that a walk is too cheap of a first date?
It can be.
It depends. I've gone on a walking date for first date.
And did you like it?
It was giving low effort.
You see what I'm saying? Even Aranza's like, it's giving low effort.
At the art museum.
Yeah.
Okay, no. You're going to the art museum. That's different. You just because you're walking there, it's not a walking date. A walking date is let's literally pick a road, go down a couple blocks and come back.
Okay, it depends where you're going, right?
Go to
Because
a park.
if you go to a park, like
On
a
the
state
beach.
park
Yeah.
or something, it's not like you're saying just cross the street. I'm there.
Right.
That's
So I
cheap.
guess a walk without purpose or context,
Yeah.
that would be too
But
cheap of a
yeah,
first date,
I
right?
guess so.
Like,
I
oh,
guess
let's
so.
go walk to see the fireworks. That's different. Or let's go walk to see the really big pink elephant down the street.
Mhm.
That's different.
But if you just pick a walk because you can't think of anything,
Yep.
that's
too cheap.
yeah.
Or I guess it's too cheap. Or I guess that's another question I never think of. What is a low effort date that you guys would say is a kind of like a red flag?
The walking thing.
Walking is
I
yep.
was at the mall. And it was like, oh, there we.
See
Yeah.
the location, right? Could you say that the location impacted the low
Y'all were window
effortness of
shopping?
it all?
Yeah.
Dang, did y'all go to eat at least?
I'm only human.
Y'all only did y'all go to eat at least?
No.
No. Awful.
Anything
Anything else, or is it really just that?
You know,
Like,
what
would
low
be a
effort date?
Yeah, what's an example of a low effort date that men should probably avoid?
You know, I think going to a movie store as a first date is kind of low effort.
I don't
It's like the same.
Still laughing.
It's like a safe.
dinner and a movie. That's
No. If it's just a movie.
Yeah, that's no. You can't talk. You can't get to know anybody there.
Exactly,
And
but-
plus, you got to discuss what you see, right?
Yeah, but some people do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it
That's
could've been
kinda
like, hey,
low.
let's go for ice cream after the movie. That's fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I guess walking is just the lowest.
Well,
Lowest
if
of the
you're
low.
just walking in a mall,
mall.
In a mall, yeah, it's awful. Poor Aronson. She's struggling.
like if you are walking at the beach and there's nice views,
Yeah, that's
nice, man.
That's nice. That's not low
I'd
effort.
love to do that.
I think that's kind of low effort. Just
No.
walking on the beach, like
Have
without
you-
like let's
Hey, you're watching.
pop
You
champagne.
watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, like
See?
not doing anything on
See?
top? Oh, yeah.
like not even bringing like a bottle of bubbly or
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to
It's
spend.
like the little
You have to spend
details.
some money.
It's the details.
Yeah.
The
But, like,
details
even
are
if
for
it was
me.
just like, hey, let's go. There's like a like a lot of beaches sometimes they have these like pop up things. We could have been like, hey, let's get some. You want to get some ice cream right here?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Ka-ching!
That's all you gotta do. At least for me, I don't know. Would that have been enough, Raza? Like if he was like, hey, let's there's some ice cream right here. You want to get some ice cream? Just
Yeah, but now you're ice cream. Now it's walk and ice cream.
okay. But ice cream is
It's
like
context.
literally
You
like
know,
$5.
I think it's how you plan it, right?
No, ice
Because
cream is more expensive, bro. Especially
a
custard.
99-cent cone.
Where do you find a 99-cent cone other than McDonald's? Never. And I
don't
say,
know.
and I know that because I went to just go get like a custard for myself, $4.
yeah,
Okay,
ice
so
cream,
awful.
$10.
everything
That's
is
not
so
a lot.
expensive.
Yeah, some
If
people
for
make
you-
like 15 an hour, and it's like that's
Well, yeah, but like if that's if
Yeah.
that's all they have for a day, I still think that's
Yeah.
cool.
another rule of thumb I have is that I think you should keep expensive dates as a treat, like not as a meal, like not as a regular meal, right? So you wouldn't have ice cream after every single food or after every meal. You would have it every once in a while. So I think like when it comes to expensive dates, it should be like a once in a while type thing, not something you do all the time.
All the time.
And
I
then
agree.
because if you do it every once in a while, you make it memorable. So then you're like, oh, remember when we did X, Y, and Z? And then you can put more effort into it. You can put more time into it. And then it just makes it much more special. Would you guys agree that that's a good rule of thumb? Or
No,
would you
I
differ?
I would
Yeah,
agree
I think
100%.
'Cause I think you could definitely overdo it. I remember.
Oh, yeah. What would be overdoing it? So we talked about underdoing it. What would be overdoing it?
Taking
Well, it's funny because
someone.
I remember. I don't know if y'all have ever watched the show Frasier.
Yeah.
That show is hilarious. It's about two
Two
brothers. They're like psychiatrists, and
Yeah,
they're
he's a
like just super
psychiatrist.
bougie, and
Yes.
they're like the whole.
Then the dad
There's
moves
like
in.
yeah, and the dad's just like he's super down to earth. He was a cop, but his sons are like really-
Retired cop from Boston.
yeah, but his sons are like real bougie. They're real smart. And
Mhm.
Frasier, he has a radio show,
Yes.
but like a lot of the show is pretty much just them just like doing silly stuff, but trying to be bougie, but just
Mhm.
like embarrassing themselves. And then one time he got this girl to date him. And like that's a lot of episode too. It's just like him trying to. Well, that's the thing. His radio show is about relationships.
Yeah.
He gave advice on
And he would give a
relationships.
lot of advice on relationships that people will call in. And he got a girl that was really pretty. And like, and he has good money because he's a doctor and he has a radio show. And so like every night there's a date. and they're going out. He's showering her with love. He's giving her flowers. He's
Wow.
like having people sing to her at dates.
Or it's
And then,
over the top.
and then there's one like part of the episode where he's like singing to her, and then she's like, she takes the mic from him. He's like, "We need to talk." and then he's just like, and then they break up.
Oh.
Well, you went over
And
the
he's
top.
like hurt, yeah. But yeah, I think there's definitely overdoing it.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's true.
Well, that's why the
Just-
term love bombing is used hard,
Yeah.
True.
where it's like over an excessive amount of attention, affection, and money that's unearned or or related to how much time you've known each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like in his Fraser's case, he was divorced and he had a kid, and he was just looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Growing up.
Like I think going on a trip together as a first date. It's not
I
good.
saw people. I
Agreed.
saw one girl, that I followed on Instagram. Nice girl's Christian, cute, but I don't know, just single for some reason. And she got into a relationship just out of nowhere, and they literally flew to Ireland together. And I think people were looking at it weird because she mentioned in the story, like, did we just started dating like a few weeks ago? Are we going overseas? Yes.
Oh, wow.
Or something like that. And
Wow.
it didn't last. That relationship,
Not
it didn't
surprised.
even last I don't even think it lasted like half a year.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Mm.
I think you should keep most dates manageable. And in my theory, I think what manageable means is that it's repeatable without much trouble. It's
Yeah.
like we can do that again without a ton of trouble, right?
Mhm.
And I think the key part here is expectations. You want to manage expectations so that it's not unmanageable, obviously. And so that it's something that you can do without having to feel like you're overextending yourself. And don't offer something you can't repeat. It's all about consistency. You want to be the same person when you started a relationship during the relationship, so that it's not like, well, when we started going out, you would give me flowers every single week.
Yeah.
You would start doing this, you were doing that, but now
And
you're
then
not
you
doing that. Or it's like,
stop
well, now I have
completely.
more expenses. It's like, well, what happened to,
Yeah.
like things change. And
I
I,
think-
get that, but it's good to set the pace.
I think dating
So-
like that or going out like that is more of a priority when, like in your case, you're long distance. Whereas if like, someone's local, you guys are seeing each other all the time, you guys are hanging out all the time, just casually, those type of like, repeatable things you do all the time, it's just easier. It's more natural. Whereas I feel like if a girlfriend lives like an hour, 2 hours away at least, if she's making a trip over or you guys are hanging out, it's like, okay, we got to plan something out because she's spending a lot of time just to come down here,
Yeah.
so I think it definitely does depend on, the distance and the circumstances of the relationship or of where you guys are both.
And I think when it comes to the types of dates, whether expensive or cheap, at the end of the day, if you're trying to get to know somebody to see if they're adequate to be a life mate, I think the most important thing, apart from money, but I think is what's the intent behind this date? I think there should always be an intent, because are we just exploring the town together to get see all the restaurants, or are we actually progressing and getting to know each other with the dates?
Yeah, it's true. And then what about traveling together? For me, you guys said for you it's a hard no. For me, I would say it's a maybe if you have to talk about your boundaries and are comfortable in your ability
Would you stay in the same hotel
to
room?
adhere to said boundaries.
Would you stay in the same hotel room?
I would say yes.
Oh,
I
man.
would. Yeah. Like,
Alone.
yeah. Again, if you've talked about your boundaries and you're comfortable that you can adhere to your boundaries, I think it's okay. For me,
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
But
I would travel together as a group, but not solo.
Okay.
There's this girl on Instagram who she
that was a really nice video.
is long distance with her now fiance, and they do like kind of like what you and Edre do, where like you're together for like a month, but they travel together.
Oh, it's fun.
But they always take a chaperone. She either takes her mom or her dad with her on these vacations.
How old are they?
Huh?
How old are they?
They're like our age.
Okay.
They're like older, but they're actively trying to, keep purity. And that's more of that's a really complex, and you have to be super intentional about it. So she calls them their accountability partner.
Okay.
It's not like they're going everywhere with this person. Probably the person is having their own vacation, but to know that someone is there to hold you accountable, because it can go south real quick. Like, I don't know how you could do, like, I know I couldn't sleep with a guy I'm attracted to in a hotel room by myself.
What about an Airbnb?
Not even.
He's on the couch or on the bed.
Not even.
In another room.
Not even.
Somebody else got to
Really? So
I mean,
so there's no sense of self-control.
There is self-control, Josh, but to me is the fact that I'm putting myself in the way of temptation. And God calls us to avoid putting ourselves in temptation. So like that close proximity, sure, it could happen. Like nothing happens. But like, I just feel like
You're more likely.
Not only you're more
Much
likely,
more likely.
and
Okay.
also the appearance of evil. The appearance of evil is sin. And if like all my friends like in the church know like I'm traveling with a man and we're staying together in the same place, that is the appearance of evil.
Okay.
And nothing may be happening. So that's why like
gotta be an example to everyone.
And the whole concept of purity is you have to be so intentional about it. It's not just about sleeping together, right? You have your thoughts, you have a lot of stuff. So,
Conversations.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Now, you mentioned something that you said, like, oh, your dates should be purposeful, or like should they lead to something about getting to know each other more? And I think that that's a super hard yes, because I want to get to know, for example, Edre in different situations. I want to, what do you call it? Get to know what she's like with random people. What is she like in quiet spaces and places where she feels out of comfort? Things like that. I feel like dates specifically early on is kind of like a job interview. And I don't take any particular offense or like any qualms in saying that it's kind of like a job interview, because at the end of the day, I need to know whether I can count on you or whether or not you're somebody I want to spend my time with. And that's sort of a job, right? I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I need to know whether or not I want to be exclusive with you. So I think the more purposeful that the date's on earlier on to get to know who you want, and if that person is what you want, I think the better. And then after you start dating, I think they can be much less so purposeful, right? Like, oh, we just want to enjoy, a Brewers game or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I think, you're good. But still, you should have dates with the next step in mind, like with an eye on the marriage part of it, right? Like if we go on vacation, how would she treat my mom? If we like how would she treat my sister in this situation? How would she, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so you have dates where she meets, well, I guess that's
not
not really
necessarily
a date,
dates, but situations
where she meets the family and
yes, 100%.
gets to
I mean,
I
had my family meet the day before I dated her.
I think the only like safer thing that I am like okay, like maybe doing solo is like road trips. Like if we go to Madison or something, like a day thing. I think that's the type of traveling that I'm more comfortable with solo. But like if it's like to another state, like a vacation type of thing.
Yeah, if you have to spend a day somewhere, like overnight somewhere, probably.
And like, let's say, the world's not perfect. Let's say the car breaks down or we have to stay somewhere. Obviously, like, separate hotel rooms.
But it's not like you're planning it.
Yeah, it's not like I'm planning
Sure.
it. It's more of like life happened.
I'd be like, Satan is a lie trying to get me.
No.
Gotta buy Airbnb.
All right. Abby, would you lead us out in prayer, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dear God, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to bring us here and talk about just the different types of dates and no-goes, things that we should do. Lord, I pray that you give us wisdom each individually and to those who are in a relationship or thinking of getting into a relationship, Lord, as to what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. Because at the end of the day, we may have lots of opinions, but at the end of the day, I said that already, your opinion is what matters. So thank you, Lord, because you gave us the Holy Spirit to guide us in all these things, whether it be good dates, bad dates. We can rely on you for that guidance. So thank you. Bless us in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.